Welcome back to another episode of Azro Reacts. I'm your boy Azro, and today we are getting back into that American Indian versus Native American stuff that we've been into, because the stories is just ramping up. They got evidence and they cannot stop it. They can't put that genie back inside the bottle. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. And you got some coming out like just stating the truth, like, yeah, we know, but some of the other stuff don't have to do with us, and that's what we saying. Just state the truth. Just let the truth be known. But I don't know if y'all seen any of my videos I shot from the other day. Yeah, I was in a different MySpace. That whole shit with old girl had me fucked up. But we back on this, and I got videos for this. So if you guys are enjoying the video, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe, because you know every little bit helps, and we truly thank you guys so much. Let's get into these videos.
Yes, I know about Mr. Perry and him having DNA that's over 300,000 years old, and that DNA being traced back to Cameroon, which is in Central Africa, right on the west coast. And it just so happens that all African Americans have West African DNA. Do y'all understand we have West African DNA? Because those are the Africans that migrated to this land and settled on this continent. Now, I don't care if they walked here, if they took a boat here, if they swam here, or if they got stuck on this continent when Pangea broke up. West Africans and the indigenous that are here are from the same people on a different timeline. The indigenous people here are the result of the split between those original Africans on the west coast. I know some of y'all think that human beings developed over here and then migrated from here into Africa and then the rest of the way east. But until artifacts or fossils are dug up on this continent that predate the fossilized bones found in Africa, there is no proof that life started here and everybody migrated out of the Americas eastward. Because remember, Albert Perry's Y chromosome is over 300,000 years old. They didn't find his bone from over 300,000 years ago. Do you understand the difference? So in conclusion, African DNA is the oldest DNA on the planet, and unfortunately, Albert Perry's DNA does not contradict that. It only confirms that African DNA is the oldest.
This week we're celebrating indigenous recipes, starting with the succotash. Get a base layer of flavor going with some onion, jalapeno, garlic. Then add in your corn. This can be fresh from the cob, canned, or frozen. Then we've got zucchini and red bell pepper. Saute all that until it's nice and soft.
Bro,
it wouldn't be
I ain't never
complete
seen
without the
this
beans,
at a
so add
cookout
your
ever
lima
in my
beans.
life. This is where
Then
soul
finish
food
it off
came
with flavor.
from.
We've got basil, salt, pepper, and smoked paprika.
Hell no. Yeah. I never seen that shit in my life. I never tasted that shit either, so I don't know what the fuck they talking about, bro. Supposedly our shit came from that. So I don't know why we just can't have a cultural exchange. I don't know why people gotta take credit for shit, but it is what it is, bro. I don't know what they talking about either, G.
Thank you. I want to say a piece of ancestors, piece of all the American Aborigines.
Wow.
Here's the thing, right? We got to get to the definition of American, right? So to answer that question, right? And it's just simple. It's the Aborigines, or the copper-colored races of people that were found when they came here. Okay? So when we say who are the first Americans, the American Negro, the American Indians, have been misclassified as African Americans. So we're going to get into the reclassifications and how they're disfranchising us away from being Americans.
Right.
And so that's why we're bringing it back.
That's crazy. I didn't even think about that today.
USA.
Wow.
Yeah. We're going to get to that, man. But just the definition, the definition, still the definition of American has always been the definition of American since the 1500s. It's the copper-colored races of people. So they alienated us, disfranchised away from colored. What kind of color? Pink colored, yellow colored, copper colored. So I'm copper. I'm a dark copper. I'm not black. You know what I'm saying? This tablet is black. I don't have a black hat on, but you understand what I'm saying? So black is a color. It's also a system. So it's a psychological weapon that's being used against us. And so this is what we're going to be talking about today.
Indeed.
So we are the first Americans. So they say, who are the first Americans? We are the first Americans. Misclassified as black, African Americans, colored, Negroes, Moors, all those things. So yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it. Chief, on TikTok, man, I was just scrolling this morning unintentionally, man. It pops up on my feed. It's a young lady, black lady, and she showed her family history. And all she had to do was go back 3 to 4 generations, and she showed that her great-great-grandmother was full Choctaw Indian, right? Choctaw Indian. And she, of course, copper colored skin, all of those things. And she was like, wow, I could only go back 4 generations and I already found the truth. When did this reclassification process start on a major level where big mamas and great grandmothers started to be reclassified to Negro, Black, and colored?
Well, we got to go with the Racial Integrity Act. Walter Ashby Plecker, I call him Ashby, but Ashby Plecker, 1924. We talking Woodrow Wilson's administration, but vital statistics. They got that from Virginia. So in 1924, that's when they started to change our classifications. So you can go back. We've been changed over 6 times since 1924. And we're the only people that have been reclassified or misclassified. I like to say misclassification, you know what I'm saying, which are illegal. So we're gonna talk about that too.
Yes, sir.
But when we talk about just these classifications taking us, hyphenating us away from being Americans, who are the Americans then?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So we are the first Americans. So say, who are the first Americans? We are the first Americans. So that's the definition of American, is the copper-colored people. Aborigines. So that's why, hence we have the Aboriginal community. Shout out to Big Aboriginal Power.
Yes, sir. Hyphenating, right?
Yes,
Instantly, I think about Jesse Jackson, 1988, late 80s, African American. Why is it problematic, in your own opinion, thoughts, for Aboriginal Americans who are indigenous to the soil to call ourselves African American?
Well, because it's attached to the CIA's open plot against colored Americans, American people, by miseducating us with Black studies, African American studies, which more to African American studies. And Jesse Jackson is just a part of that conspiracy. We can't call it conspiracy because it has been confirmed that these guys, Alex Haley, for instance, at Roots was a plagiarized book from, you know what I'm saying? So people are still pushing Roots as if it's a real historical event that happened to our people. It's not true. It's all CIA, it's all COINTELPRO. A lot of people don't like to talk about COINTELPRO. I'm not afraid to tell the truth. And so I think that's what we expose in the COINTELPRO as it pertains to the education of people of color and our identity.
Gotcha.
So racial politics, by changing, we even got people of color who work for them that push, they call them race hustlers, you know what I'm saying? They push colorism, push black, I'm black and I'm proud, I'm black and I'm proud, and black is a nothing burger. It's a misnomer, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to FBA, you know what I'm saying? There's levels to this when it's coming into this information, you know what I'm saying? Especially we've been miseducated against ourselves. So, man, I mean, black is, I'm of course, when we talk about being proud, being of who we are, but black is a system that is part of a colored caste system. So if you systematically believe in the things that they're telling you, the psychological warfare that's been waged against us by using black and using the system. So it all goes along with the miseducation of who we are to take us away from our land, socially, politically, economically, you know what I'm saying, and spiritually as well.
Wow. Chief, do you ever think that Pan-Africanism and the Aboriginal research history movement could ever coincide with each other? Or do you think it's just too polarizing of two different concepts?
Well, most people that call themselves Pan-Africans or, believe in just that whole thing are Aborigines to this land. They just been miseducated, you know what I'm saying? So waking people up, who they are, this movement it's growing, you know what I'm saying? In the last 5 years, you could tell the difference, what people were talking 10 years ago, being from Africa, you know what I'm saying? We might even would have voted for Kamala, you know what I'm saying? Because, people are identifying and who we are, and that conversation is on the table now, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I think the Aboriginal consciousness, the Aboriginal movement, this thing of ours, so I think it's the spark of that, you know what I'm saying? Did you see all this other thing?
It has, man.
Absolutely.
Sinners, right? That film is taking the world by storm. And Ryan Coogler, who filmed, directed it, he did an amazing job, wrote it. He said that this film, it was about foundational Black Americans. And hearing him say that, I was like, okay. And then he talked about indigenous culture as well. So I'm like, oh, wow. We have Black people that's in Hollywood who's tuned in to our conversations, all of these things.
Right.
Can you please just break down the overall importance of indigenous spirituality? You know, Black people, we always talk about Christianity or Islam, but our people had their own spiritual systems as well on this land.
Right. You know, a lot of times, you know, when we got the religion, you know what I'm saying, we're ancient spiritual people, you know what I'm saying, they just stole our ancient customs, our, you know what I'm saying, our lifestyles. So, you know, our heritage, you know what I'm saying? So they just took that, they took that from us, you know what I'm saying, and gave us a culture from the east to west. Well, you know, I say from out of America, you know what I'm saying, that they took our culture and just flipped it on us. So that's why we so attached to it, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah, man, bringing it back home, man, you know, I had went away from religion. I'm not still a religious person. And I tell people I don't believe anything. But spirituality, being a spiritual person, you know what I'm saying? We're spiritual people. And our gods just manifested who we were and, you know, those things. So they just gave us their gods and to worship them, you know what I'm saying? So we, you know, we got to go back to our ancestors, you know, and we were just a living manifestation of our ancestors, period. I don't believe in worshiping the dead. We are our ancestors, living flesh, walking flesh of our ancestors, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Powerful statement. The PSYOP slave mentality. Talk to me about that. What exactly is the slave mentality in your own words?
Well, let's look at the word slave, right? Comes from the word Slav.
Yeah.
It means Slavonic people from Slavonia. Doesn't mean people of color from America. It means Slavs. It comes from them. It comes from the history of their enslavement. They're being put in chains, taken to Africa, taken to Europe, taken to Asia, you know what I'm saying, and America, you know what I'm saying? So they came here. The real true history of slavery is pale Americans in chains and being set free, not people of color being set free. We were never owned by pale people here in America. And I'm from Mississippi. I do very good research on the state of Mississippi. The pale people weren't in Mississippi in any numbers. They couldn't own land in Mississippi until after Reconstruction. You see what I'm saying? So you can't own people in the South, for instance, unless you own land. You feel me? Right. You know how to grow and all these other things. So you wouldn't have to have Jim Crow if you already own the people. You know what I'm saying? So just the whole miseducation system is the problem. Wow. And it's attached to degeneracy, miseducation, the Rainbow Coalition, and all other things that are degenerate to our community.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's the I think that's the main problem. You know what I'm saying? When we're dealing with this system. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think if I got the question,
no, for sure.
They are currently scrambling in Jerusalem, and not the one you think, not the one in the textbooks, but the true Jerusalem, Arkansas, the one they flipped, renamed, and distorted. And what they are doing there is trying to unearth what they believe will give them power. Relics, artifacts, the bodies of the primordial ones, not realizing that what they seek is already awake in human flesh. We are the relics. We are the temples that they cannot decode. What they touch, the ancestors have already cursed. The moment they get close to it, their minds will go mad. Protection has already been sealed. Backlash is fated. And their minds will rot. Because the truth is this. The more they dig, the deeper they fall. The more they scramble, the quicker we rise. Their system is failing. Not because of protests, but because the dark primordial mother has returned, and she does not ask for permission. So, to those of you, just know this as your confirmation. Yes, they are watching, but they cannot stop it. Yes, they are plotting, but they have already lost. The land knows who it belongs to, and she is waking her children up one by one. So to the watchers, good luck. And to the chosen, we rise.
Exotic Map of America Before the 1800s, Reset explanation by Asir the Duke of Tears.
Which I think there was also like a global, almost like amnesiatic occurrence that may have happened at the same time as the New Madrid earthquake that they referred to as the War of 1812. Because everything got switched up with that. They got us thinking that the British came here and invaded in 1812, when if you look on an exotic map of the United States, England was already where I think Ohio was at, or some shit. Excuse me, in the 13 colonies. The word exotic, right, means from another country. Right. So if you look at the exotic map of the United States and you see all of those names of all of these places, that means that each one of those places was its own country at the time here in North America. And these places that are now named after these places are now incorporated versions that came late, which means the original London is over here. The original Albion is over here. The original Egypt is over here. The original Denmark, Lisbon, Portugal, Krypton. You know what I'm saying? We got Krypton in Georgia. Matter of fact, off the coast of Georgia, you have Mount Arabia. You have Mount Arabia in Georgia on the coast. So you know what that means? That means that the Iberian Peninsula or the Arabian coast is off the coast of Georgia, because that place was called Mount Arabia before T.E. Lawrence and them niggas named what we know Arabia today as that in 1914. And remember, we used the oceans like rivers back then, because the ancient world, ancient Egypt, ancient Israel, ancient Assyria, ancient Babylon, ancient Mesopotamia, all that shit is over here. Those places didn't become that until after 1900. Mauritania is in Texas. All of that is in Texas, according to the House Congressional Record of the annexation of Texas of 1845. It says that the land belongs to the ancient Mauritanian races, the Moorish peoples, and their Indian associates. An associate is not an owner. An associate is somebody that was put on, not somebody that's privy to the whole shit. So again, Greece wasn't established until 1971. Mauritania over there wasn't established until 1972 or some shit. Egypt wasn't established until the 50s. Saudi Arabia wasn't established until the 50s. You understand? There was no Israel on the planet.
And they're wrestling with who the first Americans are. The people that you see right now that are getting credit for being indigenous people, they're not the first peoples. They're the fifth migration of human beings. The first migrations that came to the American continent were short-statured African people known as the Paleo-Americans, or who we call the Twa and Mbuti. The second were who we call a taller stature African, known as the Clovis Folsom. The third migration coming to this country were known as the Algonquin. The fourth are known as the Inuit, or who are derogatorily called the Eskimo. Eskimo is a derogatory term towards the indigenous people that we call the Inuit. The fifth migration came in large numbers, and they were escaping the Mongol invasions like Genghis Khan. And they came across. That's who we give credit for the Bering Strait. The first Africans that came to America came from Africa to America.
I'm no longer supporting anything that's not black. If you foreigner, I believe you should go home to your country. Y'all haven't put on for America. Out of the 12 wars, I want you right now, whatever you are, whatever dirty country you come from, I want you to ask yourself, what have my peoples done for the world, and what have they done for the United States that give me the right to feel like I can come over here and be entitled to black people shit? You're not black. The majority of y'all not black. Y'all glazers, y'all want to be black. The majority of y'all just have a bunch of fucking kids and come over here and act like you better than niggas. I just woke up and watched a video of 3 foreigners answer that white dude or Hispanic dude that just stood to the sideline. Bro, you're soft. You're soft. I can't wait until I see a white little girl getting mishandled. I can't wait till I see an African little girl getting hung. I can't wait.
Listen, if I gotta be called an African American, why Jamaican don't gotta be called African Jamaican, African Haitian, African Cuban, African Dominican? Why is America the only place where this colored people gotta call themselves African American? Then they try to make it seem like we hate ourselves. Then everybody else hate themselves too, because nobody else is putting African in front of their shit. We could be indigenous all around the world, except for America. America's the only place that black people wasn't. Everybody else get to claim their land. Even with that Moana movie, and people was like, oh, they're black. And they was like, oh, we don't consider ourselves black, or we don't consider ourselves African. We're not of African descent. Nobody bothered them. Nobody bothered them. But somehow black Americans is on y'all mind so much that y'all want to tell us we African American. Well, y'all put African in front of all of y'all stuff, and then maybe we'll follow suit. Not going to bully me into something I don't want to motherfucker do. What's wrong with y'all? And don't come in my comments with that bullshit, okay? If you haven't done your genealogy or your motherfucking research, don't come in my shit talking shit. I will block you.
Original emblem of America. Now, this entire paragraph you wrote has nothing to do with the claims that I made. That melanated people are the indigenous of all continents, and I don't mean slightly melanated, I mean dark-skinned, melanated, indigenous. The ones you see in photos like this. That is the original emblem of America. Now, this entire paragraph you wrote has nothing to do with the claims that I made. That melanated...
Understand that Africa is very big. Look, I ain't asked you if Africa was very big. And that's the first thing they said. My brother, you have to understand, Africa is very big. Man, if you don't be quiet, answer my question. So, look, we already know what you're doing in Africa. This way you come to the Americas, right here. This, you see that right there? Africa don't have, look, this is as many rivers as Africa has right here. There's about 67 in this little pocket because Africa only has 67 fresh drinking water rivers. 67 fresh drinking water rivers. I'll say it again. Africa only has 67, the whole continent of Africa only has 67 fresh drinking water rivers. They do not even crack 100. They don't even have triple digits. This is why they come to the Americas for a better life and more better opportunities, because we have over 250,000 fresh drinking water rivers. And on those rivers, you're going to find trade. You're going to find towns. You see all these little lines right there? They're little tributaries of, meaning like little rivers. Not to mention the endless lakes in the Americas. And most of the lakes are indigenous towns that they tore up and all that. You see, that's how you know that we're the indigenous people. How come Native Americans don't have stories of towns that they buried in the lakes and burned and all of that? Native Americans don't have no stories of that. They use our stories.
What makes you think that it was easy for me? Like, y'all are not, like, thinking. You're responding based on emotion and not logic. If you are labeled as black, if you are seen as black, if your ancestors' documents were labeled as Negro, even though they are indigenous people, of course it's going to be hard. Of course it's going to be hard to prove your ancestry. Of course it's going to be hard to even research your ancestry. But that doesn't mean you should give up. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't try. People don't want you to try. That's the point. People don't want you to try because they don't want you to reclaim what's already yours.
See, what the problem is, a lot of people are not used to Black Americans knowing their history. They're used to Black Americans being lied to or being told by other groups of people what their history is. So we even, it's not only white people, but we even have other cultures of people telling us their contribution to us and trying to discredit the things that we've done. Like this statement right here, George Bayuso from Haiti led the Seminole Wars, which that's not true at all. So the story is told by a lot of Haitians that he came down to Florida from Haiti in 1795 and trained a militia group in Florida, the Gullah Geechees, to fight against Andrew Jackson. But the problem with this statement and this incorrect historical fact is that Haiti started their revolution in 1791. Why are you leaving Haiti in 1795 when they didn't win until 1804? What are you doing in Florida? That's number one. And number two, your contribution to us, the Gullah Geechees have been fighting this war for over 100 years. So who are you training? And then three, George Bayuso wasn't around when President Andrew Jackson was here. That was John Horse and Chief Osceola who had put that BTA to Andrew Jackson and the boys. So why are we lying? So the truth about Haiti and their involvement in America is that Haiti has helped white America and Haiti has helped the French and the Spanish. Haiti has a history of helping Europeans in their wars. Not so much Black Americans, there's indirect help that we got from Haiti. And that's what led to Haiti's downfall is their trust in white supremacy. And that's facts.
Why don't you tell the truth about what you've done, France? These are the indigenous children that were enslaved by France from 1632 to 1760 up until this photo was taken in the 1900s. And the paragraph beneath this, I encourage you to go read it, but I know you won't. The paragraph beneath this says that these children are the children of the law. The baby follows the belly. So that means they took these children from their American Indian mothers and took them to Canada. And I'm sure without anybody's damn permission. And so that makes me want to cover my eyes, France. So how you giving us the Statue of Liberty in 18 whatever the hell, but you taking kids from America to Canada and taking these same American Indian children all over Europe too. And don't forget this also includes they was taking Haitian people too. So I think France should tell the truth about themselves before you try to lie on somebody else. Talk about what you did. Again, we do not have to let illegal immigrants into our country. It doesn't work like that. You should tell the truth about what you did to Haiti and the indigenous people of what will become the United States before we ever became the United States. When y'all claimed what would become the United States as La Louisiane for King Louis in 1685 and then began governing those American Indian people under the Code Noir. Tell the truth about that.
You got a lot of people that know. That know. And they'll say, you know, they Blackfoot, they Cherokee, they this, they that, and they know that their grandmothers told them this, their family told them this. But you also have those, the Indian people that they call the natives that are more European than anything. Mm-hmm. They'll come on a page and start hating, saying you don't know your heritage, you don't know your spirituality.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
This one girl said, y'all African people always y'all don't know where y'all come from. Y'all always saying y'all this, y'all always saying y'all that. Y'all think y'all Egyptian, y'all think y'all this. She said y'all don't know what y'all are. Now y'all trying to say y'all Native American and this and that. I was like, man, this stuff crazy. Man. They going back and forth and they getting into it with each other. Yep. I said, listen, I had to tell her, I said, listen here. I said, now you see the picture I posted, right? Mm. I say, look at my grandmother. I say, you can tell she's every bit of got Indian blood in her.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
And the girl kept saying, well, go take a DNA test. I said, baby, listen here. My DNA test is my grandmother.
That's right.
That's the DNA test. Right. That's the roots. She keep on telling me, go take a real DNA test. I said, baby, That I say you probably been lied to, and you cool with that. But yeah, it's crazy. But I think they should. I think
glad you mentioned that.
We need to multiply in numbers far as that goes. You know, it's easy. It needs to be a collective consciousness when it comes to that, like around the globe.
My name is Eagle. I'm the original man of America. A lot of y'all done heard about me. I'm a chief. I'm the Skokie Indian. I'm the original man of America. You can go to Washington, D.C. You can see my picture at the Smithsonian Museum.
People are going to keep saying we're lying until they see the receipts. But in the age of misinformation and digital decay, documentation matters. Too many narratives have been pushed about people from the Black demographic. Narratives that get accepted without question. People read something in a school book and assume it's gospel, not realizing their own family documents tell a completely different story. And yes, records can be altered, but when your ancestor went from being labeled Indian to Negro in 2 decades, that's not just an error, that's identity alchemy. Genealogy is about more than proving descent. It's about exposing misinformation and confronting the lies passed down through generations. People are going to keep saying we're lying until they see the receipts. That's why so many from the Black demographic run to DNA ancestry tests. They think these tests is the only valid proof of ancestry. But they don't tell the full story. Your family records do. And if you continue to ignore that truth, you're choosing ignorance in the age of information.
On today's episode of I Got a Theory, I've pretty much figured out why a good number of people just have this underlying hate for Black people. Let's run a list. Number 1, Black is specific to Black America. I can't speak about no other Black anything else. Black Americans, we are the hype. Call it what you want, but we are the hype. Here's the reason why. Number 1, our shit just better. I mean, no matter what it is, our shit is just better. Look at how much of our shit that got stolen. And if it wasn't that good, it wouldn't be worth stealing, would it? Exactly. Number 2, we just keep winning despite the goalposts continuously being moved. Everybody hates losing. You're losing to the same people all the time. I mean, if you can't beat them, join them, but you literally can't join us. I'd be mad too, big dog. We made everything and we built everything. So technically, this is our shit. Yeah, and y'all, a lot of people are tired of that. Like, everything doesn't belong to Black people. Black American people, sorry, but I need that. I need that back. I need that back. Oh, your lip fillers, I need our lips back. Tan, oh, give me that spray tan back. Give me surely we made the electricity. I need that back too. The potato chips you love, that peanut butter, need that back too. Oh, technology, we need that back too. We need it all back. We need every last bit of it back. Yeah. Next on the list, we smarter than y'all. Laughs in the number of Black women with degrees. I'm just throwing it out there. Don't kill the messenger, but yeah, smarter than y'all on a lot of levels. Also, Black people, we know how to command the attention of a room. By the way we get dressed, by the way we speak, by the way we carry ourselves, the duality that we possess. A lot of people see a lot of things in us that they wish they also had that they cannot obtain. And so, basically, y'all some headers, okay? Next, everything we touch, we turn to gold. That's literal. You know what I'm saying? You can have a concept, you can have an idea, a Black person put their spin on it, and now it's like, ooh, damn, I should have thought of that. You sure should have, but you didn't. Next, Jesus Black. This is not up for debate. Jesus was Black. Been getting hated on since the beginning of time. Thank you very much. And then also too, if all those old reasons didn't work, a more up-to-date and recent reason as to why people probably don't like Black people is that we're at the this is an in-house conversation. Beat it, scram. Actually, no, you're not invited to the kickoff.
actually, what are you doing here? Get the fuck out. This is our space. This is our shit. No. Final answer. And so, you know, now if you was pissed before, your blood pressure is probably so fucking high, you're at risk of a stroke. A lot of people hate being told no. And black people right now are just like, no, and get the fuck out. And I meant that shit, or we gonna stump a mud hole through you. So, you getting out? Great. Thanks. And don't come back either. And it's like when y'all try to talk about us, y'all can't clown or out clown us. I know that stir a hole in y'all, so that's stirred. And when I say stir a hole, I mean the whole elbow just working to stir. It's stirring a real good hole in y'all. So everybody want to be like us. And last and final piece of this theory, it's like, let me guess, black people. And you're right. You're right. I mean, I get it. So if you black and you looking at this, babe, I love you. You my everything.
So hey, the play is not to make black American slaves, it's to make y'all slaves. We keep telling y'all, black Americans done figured out the whole shit. We know every single thing that is going on. There is nothing that y'all can tell a group of people that have been here for 500 fucking years. We know them better than they know themselves. We also know that America has received so many human rights violations for black Americans internationally by the UN that they can't do shit with us no more. Okay? This is why we keep telling y'all we are not next, because we were first. We know exactly what they're getting ready to do to y'all, which is why we keep telling y'all to go. If they're trying to deport you, okay, you should leave. Because if you stay, it's gonna get ugly. And they are going to mass incarcerate you. Okay? 4 years. Lord knows how long they're going to mass incarcerate y'all for. And then they're going to use you for prison labor. Y'all so obsessed with the 14th Amendment that you're not paying attention to the 13th. The 13th is the only amendment that legalizes slavery. They don't need to do a plan to make us slaves, bitch. We know about the 13th Amendment. Y'all seem to be the ones who don't. This is why we refuse to go outside. Because we know that if we go outside, they will arrest us. And they can arrest us indefinitely, because they've done it before. Okay? The only dummies in the room are y'all. And what makes y'all even more dumb is because you won't listen to the most educated and knowledgeable group of people in the country. Y'all so mad because we telling you to leave. Get the fuck out of here. Because you think we being fucked up when we're telling you the best fucking thing for you. So it is y'all choice if you're going to listen or not. But we know y'all hard-headed as fuck, and you think you know everything while you're 2 sec brand fucking new to the country, and you don't know half the history of it. So whatever happens with y'all happens with y'all. Leave us alone. Have a good day. We also know that the thing that we have to worry about to dodge the 13th is unemployment. Unemployment and economics. We have to make sure that we take care of our own community so that they don't have to go out here and resort to crime. We got our play. Y'all go get yours.
So now, let's deal with the elephant in the room. Let's jump subjects real quick and talk about the Gullah. So, but what I mean by the Gullah? So, this is the Gullah Festival, right? This is ran by my people. My people who are Yamasi. The Gullah Festival was created by Rosalie Pazant, one of my direct relatives. We've been doing this Gullah thing for a long time, but not like...
Thank you for that history.
You're welcome.
That was good.
Thank you for listening.
A lot of it I could never know.
Well, that's our whole thing, teaching. But not like everybody else. We've been doing this Gullah thing like the natives that we are, sharing the history of our people and telling people what really happened, as you just heard. The Gullah Festival, huh? Interesting. Y'all really don't understand what's going on, do you? You gonna play catch up? We got you.
I'm telling you guys, there's fuckery going on. Cause it's funny how the blacks here, the original Indians, they got overthrown, right? They even put some of them into slavery and shit. Yet none of them now are getting any sort of land, getting any sort of, I guess, money. Dude, I live close to Temecula. Okay, basically, I'm out here in Southern California. I have a friend. This dude gets $10,000 a month. This Siberian man. Okay, and you gotta think like that's fucked. Like this is one of the biggest secrets in history, man. And if you don't believe me, that the original or the aboriginal Negro here, okay, the black Indian, that's not legit. Look at the Olmecs. Look at the Olmec heads, dude. Okay? They still can't even get a full carbon dating on the thing because of how old it is. Yo, there's 1,000 years of history missing. Look at the Olmec heads. There's braids on the...
Crazy. You can't hide the truth no more. You can't hide the truth no more. There's no putting the genie back inside this bottle. It is cracked open. Black Americans, as usually, I'm not using African Americans because they completely dropped that title. Like completely, it's Black Americans or American Indians straight up. Yeah. And the craziest thing for me is I haven't heard anything about that whole court case. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to throw fuel on the fire or anything. I'm just saying. The court case that's supposed to be Native Americans suing American Indians for saying that they are the true indigenous people. Whatever happened to that? It's like everybody just stopped talking about that. What happened to that? I truly want to know. I think I'm gonna go and look for it and see what I can find. But if you guys enjoyed the video, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe, because you know every little bit helps us out. And I've been your boy Azro. This has been Azro Reacts, and I'll check you guys next time. Deuces.